Hey everyone, welcome or welcome back to the Missy Money channel. I'm Missy, I'm a mom of three and the owner of Missy Money, a small business that specializes in minimalist and aesthetic cash stuffing essentials to help inspire and motivate you on your personal finance journey. Today I'm going to be cash stuffing my fifth paycheck of October because October is a magic month for me, and that will include variable expenses, sinking funds, and savings challenges. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so this is the fifth week of October, and October is a magic month for me. And I'll be honest, I did not realize it was a magic month until last week. So this one kind of snuck up on me a little bit, but that is an awesome surprise to have. So for those of you that are new to my channel and new to cash stuffing, a magic month happens when you get an extra paycheck and an extra pay period in a month. So I am a weekly paid employee. I count on 4 paychecks for any given month, and there will be some times where I have a pay period that is an extra pay period for that month, an extra paycheck. So magic months are not the same as true bonus income because they're still tied to a pay period. And so we still need to make sure that we're stuffing for variable expenses in our weekly wallet the same way that we normally would for a pay period. But because I put away 25% of my bill and debt payments every single week, I do not need to stuff bill and debt payments this paycheck because I've already had 4 paychecks tied to October. And so my bill and debt payments are fully funded and in the bank ready for auto drafting next month's bill and debt payments. And so that means that everything that I normally contribute to bill and debt payments, which is significant for me, it's about 50% of my paycheck, I can this week instead put that into sinking funds and savings challenges. So I am going to, as always, start by unstuffing my weekly wallet and seeing what I've got left in my variable expenses. Again, I'm going to do that step this month no matter what because this paycheck is tied to a pay period. So I'm going to need to unstuff my weekly wallet and then restuff it once I get to variable expenses. So first, I'm going to see what is in groceries, what's left in groceries, and I've got all sorts of bills in here. Let's get a little bit organized. All right, so I have got, that's $25, $30 left in groceries, which I am going to unstuff and put to the side. Eating out looks like has $10 left, so I'm going to go ahead and put that to the side as well. Spending money has $10 left as well. I'm going to put that to the side. Be Kind was fully spent. Miscellaneous has, looks like a couple bucks maybe, $4 left. So I'm going to put that to the side, and then I've got my spent envelope. Now, normally at the end of my 4th paycheck, I would have already unstuffed my spent envelope and deposited that money into the bank. But because October is a magic month and I've got this 5th paycheck and 5th pay period, I'm not going to do that until the end of this week. So at the end next week, at the end of this pay period, I will go ahead and unstuff my spent envelope. But for now, I didn't roll anything over this week, so I will go ahead and take all of this money. I'm going to set it aside, and I will add that to my contributions to my savings challenges after towards the end of this video. So I went ahead and I did fill out a paycheck breakdown and cash planning sheet for this pay period because this is a normal, paycheck for me, even though it's a magic month. And I'm going to go ahead and jump into the digital budget planner and show you what I did for that. All right, guys, I'm not going to spend a ton of time here. I just want to quickly show you how I plan for and account for a magic month paycheck. So the biggest change that I make when I'm doing a paycheck breakdown and cash planning for a magic month paycheck is my bill and debt payments. I do not need to contribute my normal amount towards bill and debt payments because I've already had 4 paychecks this month, meaning I've already saved up 100% of my bill and debt payments, and those are in the bank and ready for auto drafting November's bill and debt payments. So that means that all the money that I normally allocate towards those bills and debts, which is usually 25% of those bill and debt payments with every single paycheck, I can now free up and contribute that money to other things. And so the one thing that I did decide to do is make an extra payment towards my student loan. Usually I'm contributing about $122 with every paycheck towards my student loan payment, but I can always also pay an additional amount towards that student loan. So I decided I wanted to make an extra $200 payment with this magic month. And then my wallet categories, my variable expenses stayed exactly the same because my variable expenses are still for 1 week. And I didn't feel the need to increase those amounts because this is just like a typical week for me. So my wallet categories, my variable expense categories are staying the same. Where you'll really see the biggest change is where I put all that extra money that I freed up from not having to account for bill and debt payments. So I am putting a lot more towards my sinking funds and savings challenges. Now, again, because I've already had 4 paychecks, I've already hit my monthly goals for my sinking funds and savings challenges. So all of these contributions are truly just extra contributions that are going to boost and build up my sinking funds and savings challenges. Because of that, I'm not contributing to all of my sinking funds. I am making specific payments towards my sinking funds or specific contributions towards my sinking funds. And in some cases, they're really specific amounts to get me to certain goals. So you'll see emergency, for example, I'm contributing $220. That was so I could get myself to an even number. I think that gets me to $500. So in some cases, I did make really specific contributions to get me to a certain threshold. And in other cases, I just made an extra contribution. You can see that a bulk of this extra contribution is going to go towards my Magical Vacation Savings Challenge. I didn't plan this out specifically. I just gave myself a good, healthy mix of bills and I'm kind of going to wing it once we get to that savings challenge. So in general, again, a lot more money that I'm going to be stuffing this paycheck. Normally, I'm stuffing just a little under $1,100. And with this paycheck, I'm going to be stuffing $2,770. And you can see I've got in my cash planning summary the breakdown of my bill denominations. So let's hop back and go ahead with this cash stuffing. All right, guys, so as I mentioned in the digital budget planner, I am stuffing way more than I normally do. So you can see with this teller slip that I am stuffing $2,770 this paycheck, which is huge. That's more than double what I normally stuff. So, so having a magic month really, really frees up extra cash. So I am going to go ahead and pop that cash into my cash holder here. I've got a bunch of 20s. I just love magic months because it feels like you take such a huge step forward in progress in so many of your sinking funds and savings challenges. So I do have this cash planning notebook off to the side. Now I will say if you use the digital budget planner, you can go ahead and print off your paycheck breakdown and cash planning sheet directly from your digital budget planner. I kind of use my digital budget planner as a calculator, and then oftentimes we'll just go ahead and copy over my cash planning kind of items onto this cash planning notepad. And that's just because I like having this off to the side as I'm doing my cash stuffing, just so I can see my denominations. Again, it's totally up to you. If you just want to use the digital budget planner, that tool works in and of itself without needing to do this step. But I personally just like having both the written and digital version. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that off to the side. These are much different amounts for me than what I normally plan, with the exception of my wallet. And so I'll just need to be referencing that pretty often. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to stuff my wallet first, and that is my norm with cash stuffing. Again, because this is tied to a pay period and I will need funds for the next week of my life and my variable expenses, that is why I always stuff my variable expense weekly wallet no matter what kind of paycheck it is. So groceries is getting $200 and I plan that as 100 and 250s, which is my norm. When you get a bonus paycheck or, you know, bonus income from like a side hustle or reselling items, then you do not need to stuff your variable expenses. But whenever you have a paycheck that's tied to a pay period, you need to go through this step. So eating out is getting 125. That's my norm for that as well. I didn't change anything in regards to my weekly contributions to variable expenses, even though it's a magic month. Gave myself $40 for gas. I did fill up last week, so I might not spend that, but if I don't, I'll probably roll it over. Spending is getting $50 this week, which is my usual. Be Kind is going to get $5. I also fully spent that. So be stuffing $5 for that. And then miscellaneous is going to get $50 as well. All right, so that is it for my weekly wallet. All right, and here is where things are gonna get a little bit different than my usual cash stuffing. So I'm gonna start with my long-term sinking funds. And as I mentioned, as I was doing my planning, I did go ahead and make some significant changes to these contributions. I've already had 4 paychecks, so I've already done my 4 normal contributions to sinking funds. So all of these contributions are kind of extra contributions for my sinking funds. And so because of that, I got pretty prescriptive with some of these envelopes because I wanted to get them to a certain point so that once I go through and do a cash condensing, I have got them to a nice rounded number. I can use some placeholders. So probably not after this video, but next week after my unstuffing, I will probably use that time to do a cash condensing and get some of these envelopes a little bit cleaned up with the number of bills that are in them. So the amounts that I'm contributing to this week to a lot of my sinking funds, just know that those are going to be bigger amounts, and that's not my norm. It's just because I have the money freed up with this Magic Month paycheck. So let's start with emergency. So emergency, I am going to be stuffing $220. So that is much more than what I normally do. I'm normally at $40 a week for that. So emergency now has 100, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 400, 20, 40, 60, 80, 500. And that's why it had 220, because I wanted to be able to get that one to $500, which is great. All right, Christmas. Christmas, I am adding $170 with this Magic Month paycheck, which is huge and awesome. So let's see, that should put us at a nice round number for that as well, but let's double check that. So I've got the $1,000 placeholder: 100, 50, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 400, 20, 40, 60, 80, 500, 20, 40. So when I go in and do my condensing, I will definitely be able to condense that one down, which is great. All right, holidays, I am putting $40 in, which I think I just did that because now that I've spent a good amount of this for Halloween, I just want to get it built back a little bit up for Thanksgiving. So holidays now has 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. My mom hosts Thanksgiving every year, so it's not like we have the whole family over, but we typically are the ones that, will bring over kind of wine and drinks and just contribute to that part of it. All right, medical, I actually did not contribute to with this one. Insurance, though, I did. So insurance is getting $110. Which is going to bring insurance to 100, 200, 300, 350, 370, 390, 410, 430, 450, 470, 490, 500. So nice even 500 on that one too, which is awesome. Home, I put 50 towards. So home now has 100, 150, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. So 355 in home now. Car, I also put 50 towards, and that was just to help build this one up. So car now has 100, 150, 170, 180, 190, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 245, 250, 255, 260, 265, 270, 275, 280 in car. And that was it for this week for my long-term sinking funds. All right, next is my short-term sinking funds. And I did not put anything in for shopping. I do need to buy Halloween candy though. I need to buy Halloween candy this week. So I might pull that from holiday. I'll either pull that from holiday or from shopping. Or maybe a little bit of both, but I do need to buy trick-or-treating candy, so we have candy to pass out for Halloween. Date night, I also skipped. Family fun is getting $50, we have our costumes all set, all ready to go for our family costume. So I'll post a picture in my next cash stuffing video and let you know what we picked. But a few weeks ago, I had actually asked you all for some ideas because we always do a family costume for trick-or-treating around our neighborhood. And you all had some great ideas. We did end up using one of them. So I'll do the big reveal next week. All right, Family Fun. Family Fun's got an additional $50. So Family Fun now has 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 160, 165. All right, I skipped clothing, skipped self-care as well. Lola and Luna are getting $100, which is great. We need to build them up. So Lola and Luna now have 100, 20, 40, 45, 50. Need to grab them some food. So we'll be pulling from that probably this week. Gifts. Gifts is getting $50. And my nephew's birthday is coming up. I usually send my nieces and nephews like cookies or some sort of treat on their birthday. So probably be pulling for that as well. All right, kindness projects. Kindness projects is not getting anything this week, but I am going to be pulling from that for my very first kindness project. And this one is actually super near and dear to my heart. My sister owns a nonprofit, and she does one big kind of fundraising event every single year. And she asked if I would do a candy buffet for it. I used to do candy buffets in, I would say, another life. It feels like a lifetime ago. But I used to do candy buffets for events, and she asked if I would kind of resurrect that and put together a candy buffet for it. So I'm really excited for that. I am going to use some of the money in my kindness projects to be able to donate a candy buffet for it. So that'll be fun. Shop small, I did decide that I was going to do my normal $20 contribution this week. So go ahead and do that, which puts shop small at $40. And then miscellaneous, I also skipped. So that is it for my short-term sinking funds. All right, and then I do have a couple of sinking funds in my kids' sinking funds binder that I am going to make a contribution to as well with this magic month paycheck. And the first is activities. So let me flip to that one. Activities, I'm going to put $50 towards, and that's going to put activities at 50, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 5, 10, 15, 20. So $220 for activities. And then birthdays. Birthdays, I did $50 as well. So birthdays now has 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 170, 190, 210, 230, 250, 270, 290, 310, 330, 350, 370, 390, which is great because I do think we need to put a deposit down on the place that Maverick wants to have his birthday at. So that'll be great. Kids clothing, I also am putting 50 towards, which will put kids clothing at 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 135, 140, 145, 150, 155, 160. And that is kids clothing. Memberships is getting 50 as well. So that'll put memberships at 50, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 300, 510. I need a condensing bad, everybody. Next week, clock it. I'm putting it out into the world so I remember and have to do it. But I will say I love these envelopes because even though I'm in need of condensing so bad, hopefully you can see it on the camera. You can see it holds so many bills. And it keeps they're still really solid in there. It's not like they're falling out. I just love these. It's like they're flexible, but they still are really sturdy. So, and I've been loving it. It has been super busy with custom orders lately, like custom orders for your personalizations on these envelopes. And I have got to tell you guys, it is one of the funnest parts of my shop, having my shop and offering the custom envelopes, is it feels like a tiny little peek into like your all's goals and lives. And I just like always, as I'm making these envelopes, which is usually late at night after I put the kids to bed, I like always am in awe of you guys. Like it makes me want to know you, because like I've done envelopes for acting, for dream property, for twins, for just all these different categories where I am just like I like kind of start to imagine who y'all are, and just like what your lives are like. And I always just see things for goals and like things that you're working for and towards financially that just make me so inspired by you. So thank you so much for those of you that have supported my shop and, you know, trusted me to create envelopes for you and trusted my small business with being part of your personal finance journey. It truly means so much, but also just know that I am so inspired by y'all and the things that you're working towards. It's really awesome. All right, so teacher gifts. Teacher gifts is getting 100. I wanted to give this one a boost because we are getting a little bit closer to the holidays, and I just want to make sure that we have enough for that. So teacher gifts now has 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 300, 510. So 310, which I feel a little better about. I was getting a little bit nervous about that one. I've mentioned this before, but we like getting gifts for all of our kiddos' teachers. They're kind of main teachers. They've got a teacher and a teacher assistant in each of their rooms, but then they've also got lots of special teachers like music, library, art, science, Spanish, all these different specials. And we just want to make sure that all of their special teachers know how much we appreciate them too. So we get a gift for everybody. So all right, that is it for sinking funds. So the rest of this money, all of it, which is so exciting, is going to savings challenges, which is incredible. So I am just going to take this out just for the moment because I've got leftover variable expenses that I am going to go ahead and combine all this and pop it back in here. So this is going to be a huge contribution to savings challenges, which is amazing. I'm so excited about it. Okay, so I am going to continue doing my contributions to the 52-week savings challenge. The reason that I'm doing that is because, again, this week is tied to a pay period. So a magic month is a paycheck that is still tied to a pay period. And so to stay on track with my 52-week savings challenge, I do need to fill in a one of my envelopes. So I'm on week 44 of the 52-week savings challenge. So I'm going to come back here and find envelope number 44. And I'm going to go ahead and get my marker out to get ready for that. And I'm going to get, if I've got it, which I think I do. Yep. I'm going to do $44 exactly for this one. So let me pop that in there. And guys, I think that means I only have 2 pages of this left. 2 pages! 8 weeks until it's all done. That is so crazy. All right. Let me mark this one off. All right, and that is it for the 52-week savings challenge. All right, guys, and sorry if anything shifted in the camera. I was getting a notification that I was close to out of storage space on my camera, which happens often because when I film these videos, they end up being really large files. So I needed to move some things off to make sure that what I was capturing was not going to get lost. So, so I'm just going to keep an eye on that because I want to make sure that as I'm doing this savings challenge that it's actually capturing that contribution, but I do think I shifted the camera a bit, so apologies for that. All right, so I don't have a really good game plan for this. I'm gonna be really honest. I'm gonna kind of be winging it. The one thing I do know that I wanna do is I wanna get airfare, other, and accommodations. I wanna get some pretty significant contributions to those because I just want, those are some of the bigger ticket items, and I want to make sure that I am getting them to a good place. So I'm actually going to start with other, because I'm hoping that I will be able to do, I think, 3 of these symbols, and each of these symbols are $200 a piece, because this other is for our cruise fare. We are wanting to take a Disney cruise, hop on a Disney cruise after we go down to Disney and do the parks. So I'm really hoping that I'm going to be able to fill in 3 of these, and I think I will. So let's see what we got. So I've got 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 20, 40, 60, 80, 600. So I think that that'll put me at 1,000 total. Let's just double check that though. 20, 40, 60, 81, 52, 53, 54, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000. Yes. Oh my gosh, that makes me so excited. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in 3 of these, which is a little wild that it's, you know, $600 going towards that, and I only fill in 3, but we know that this is going to be saving a long time for this, and we're okay with that. We're not planning on taking this trip until probably sometime in 2026. But the reason that I really wanted to get to $1,000 with this is because we are actually looking at dates and putting some ink down on this adventure, and I know that I'm going to need to pay $1,000 when we put a deposit down on selecting our cruise fare and our cruise dates. So having that available is huge. All right. So that was a big portion of what I've got here, but let's see what else we can do. So I also want to make a pretty big contribution to accommodations for the same reason. I want to be able to put a deposit down on this when we finally select our dates. So I think I'm going to put 200 so I can finish out this row, and each of my symbols are $50. So I'm going to do 200. So that'll be 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200. So I will go ahead and fill the rest in. All right, so that will be good for accommodations for this contribution. And then let's see, oh, have to combine that with the cash that was already in there. And then let's see what other big ones we've got. We've got airfare too. And airfare is another one of those that I would really like to get to a good place. So we've got that available to use if we want to go ahead and buy those tickets. So I think, let's see what we've got. I'm at least going to do 80, 60, 80, 20, 40, 60. I'm going to do 5. I'm going to go ahead and fill out 5 more of these. And I probably should have mentioned this, but for those of you that are new to the channel, I am doing the Magical Vacation Savings Challenge, which is like princess fairy tale themed in nature, but I also have just a regular vacation savings challenge in the shop for those of you that aren't in your parenting princess, prince, fairy tale era. as well. So I'm just doing this one because I am saving up for our family of 5 to go down to Disney, take the kids to Disney. I've got 3 little kids. It'll be their first time to Disney, and we have not taken a vacation as a family ever. So my oldest is 4.5, almost 5, and so this is going to be a very expensive trip, but because it'll be our first ever family vacation, we are, saving up for it for a long time, and going down to Disney, and then we'll hop onto a Disney cruise. So we know we're going to have to save a long time for it. We know it's going to be expensive, and we're okay with that because we're kind of intentionally saving for all the different pieces of it. So I am anxious to get airfare completed because that's one of those things that I don't need to put a deposit down, obviously, when we pick the dates for it. But I do kind of want to track, tickets. And if we, find a good deal on airline tickets, I want to have the flexibility to book it when the best deal is available. So I'm pretty anxious to get that one a little bit further along. So that was great progress on that one. I'm going to fill in some of the tickets because that's the other big one that I would like to be able to buy those if I am able to get a good deal on them. So let's see what we've got. Each of these are $30. So we'll see how many 30s we've got. So 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 30, and then 10. So let's do 3 of these. $90 to contribute to that. All right. That is good for tickets. And then I think I've got, this one needs a condensing bad too. All right, food and drinks is 15. So let's see if we can do, that's 115. Let's see if we've got, yep, we've got enough to do 2 of those. So I'm going to fill in 2 of the food and drinks. All right. There's that. And I think we've got a few 5s left over as well, so we can decide where we want to put those. Some of the smaller challenges, 3. All right, let's see. We'll find a 5. Let's do this one. We'll do transportation, which for us is not about getting down there. It's once we're down there, like a rental car or some way to get around. So we'll finish out this row. Transportation are little carriages. So we finished out a row on that, which is great. And then I don't think I've got enough ones to do. Ooh, I lied to you. I've got 5 ones. Where should we put that? I did not mean to lie. Let's fill in the souvenirs because that's also a 5. Put all 5 ones towards that. Souvenir symbols are 5 each, so that's perfect. I'm anticipating we're going to come away with all the Mickey ears and probably the character autograph books as well. So just want to plan for that so we can say yes to all the fun things down there. All right, that is it, guys. $2,770 all accounted for and stuffed away, which feels incredible. So thank you so, so much for hanging out with me. If you are a subscriber on my channel, I super, super appreciate it. That really helps those of us that have kind of smaller channels grow our channel, and it also really helps grow my small business as well. So I just genuinely want to thank each and every one of you for engaging and just being a part of my journey with me. And for those of you that are on your own personal finance journey, as always, I do wish you a simple budget, a calm mind, and a happy life. Thanks for watching.